video you're watching was filmed in 1980 by an 8mm camera. We didn't even have sound on it at that time. This is my first workout with Chuck Norris in California. Chuck invited me out. He and Aaron picked me up, and we're at the studio in Torrance. Here I am throwing some spinning round kicks into the pad. Chuck and I met through Bill Maher in Virginia Beach. Here's Aaron kicking the pad I'm holding. In the background is Rick Prieto. Rick was one of the mean bad guys in a lot of Chuck's movies. There's Chuck kicking the pads with Aaron holding. He did thousands of kicks that day, abdominals, kicking routines, etc. You can see Rick in the background there with the yellow shirt on. Here's me throwing some high round kicks, Chuck holding the pads. This was filmed about a year after the Octagon come out, so you'll see some fight scenes, some circle drills we did a little later on that you would recognize from the Octagon. Here I was kicking the pads with Aaron holding. Here's Chuck kicking, Aaron holding. This is great video footage. This is on almost 32 years old. Chuck spinning outside crescent kick. He had such powerful kicks. I mean, it was just amazing how powerful he was. I had been in Taekwondo and kickboxing at that time. Here's Prieto doing the circle drill that was used in the Octagon. You do directional kicks. I didn't know the routine, so I was hesitating in between kicks, trying to figure out which way to go. Didn't have any trouble with the kicks, just the direction I was going. But it was such a great honor, and I was a little intimidated working with Chuck at that time, but Chuck was gracious, as he always is. He invited everybody to the workouts, and we worked out for a week, and I got much better. But this footage is just precious. Here's Aaron. Look how great he's kicking. Aaron's a great martial artist. There's Chuck finishing up the drill that was in the Octagon. Here's a piece of me in 1975 with an old millimeter, black and white. It's at the US Open Karate and Taekwondo Championships. I'd fought earlier that day and won that in the semi-contact. The winner of this fight was to get $5,000. It was labeled as a world championship fight. This was George Muhammad, who had 40-plus boxing matches before he went over to kickboxing. I had no kickboxing experience at this time, only Taekwondo, and had no boxing experience, as obvious. I blocked most of his punches with my face. We were fighting on a wrestling mat, which was pretty common back in those days in the 70s until the boxing ring became more prevalent. But I did find out I could take a really good punch, because you could see my neck stretching out quite a bit on some of his punches. But as the fight went on, I got the hands going, started to innovate and adapt to him. I got a knee in the solar plex at that time and took an 8 count. But he had to reach on me, and he had to speed on me, and if I could have got him cornered in a ring, I could have worked on him. But as you'll see in the fight, I chased him all over this mat. I actually took him into the audience numerous times in different parts of the arena, and they continued to bring him back to the center of the ring. But I backed him up and backed him up and backed him up until we ran out of space, and the referee would restart it. Wasn't pretty, but it was the art of survival, and $5,000 was on the line, so I fought. I wasn't used to clinching at that time. I really had no boxing skill, but the very next week I did go to the boxing gym and have been boxing ever since, and learned how to defend against the jab, the left hook, the uppercuts, and all that, and it's a big part of what I teach today. We did have to throw 8 kicks to make contact. The PKA rules were 8 kicks to make contact each round. You see here I'm hitting him with an overhand right and an uppercut. I trip over his foot and knock him down. Starting to wear him down a little bit. This was probably into the second round. It was pretty sloppy there. When you get tired, you get sloppy. There was the start of my comeback. I hit him with a side kick, He went down, didn't want to get up, but the referee made him get up. I pounded him in the head after he hit the ground, so I got penalized for it a little bit. I'm just swinging at the fences here just to try to knock him out in any fashion. Both of us are getting pretty tired. A good shot there to the kidney and backed him out into the audience again. And I knocked him down into the audience again. That was about the fourth or fifth time I helped him have a seat over into the audience with my punches. Started closing in. This time I got him with a knee into the solar plexus as he went down. Take a little bit of wind out of him. The referee's trying to help him up. Instead of counting him out, he's trying to help him up. I found out I wasn't supposed to win that fight. Actually, people were mad at me. The spinning heel kick there. And this is the start of the finish for him, because I kept blitzing, kept going after him. And actually what you can't see, I did a knee that come up and got him and dropped him right there. He laid there forever and he actually didn't get up. So the referee at some point, and it took forever, give him the 10 count. And come over at some point and raise my hand, and I won the match. Went undefeated after that for the next 9 fights.